everyone, and welcome back to Rise and Slay for some around the house motivation. Today I'm starting off by making a healthy energy power bowl along with some hot green tea to give me some good energy. I also have my essential oil diffuser going. Now that it is January, I wanted to change up the quote on the letterboard in the kitchen. If you watch my channel, I like to change up this board as the seasons of life change for some inspiration. It's always something positive and encouraging to set the mood, and today's quote is for the new year ahead. And then I'm starting the laundry just so that it is going while I focus on some of the other things I have on my to-do list for today. I'm sorting lights from darks and starting the first load of the day. Today we are not only going to tidy up the house around here, I will also be creating a toddler learning activity bin for my 2-year-old. We are going to cook an easy, really good meal for lunch that was inspired by HelloFresh. And also, I'm going to paint a pot to freshen up the space. Now we are upstairs and I'm going to start by tidying up her play area in the room before we're going to create the activity bin, which is something I've wanted to do for a really long time. I've been collecting toys and puzzles and different learning tools so I can start teaching her the basics like colors, shapes, alphabet, animals, numbers, things like that. I think it'll be nice for her now that she's getting older and she understands so much. She is now 2 years old and 3 months, and I also think it'll just give us an opportunity to spend time and just interact with her on a different level. Just trust that I'll keep it locked in a cell. So I wanted to show you guys what I put together for the learning bin. I'm putting a couple of puzzles to work on together. These animals are really realistic and it was one of my favorite purchases I made for her. I used them when she was younger to teach all the animals in Russian language for her, and now I want to teach them in English as well. I also put these little blocks with alphabets on them, and now you can see I'm just explaining to her that we will use these things together. These are some of the books I'm putting in there as well. They are all learning books on shapes, colors, alphabet, opposites, and so much more. So here's just an overview. There is a little ABC tablet and some coloring books. All of this stuff I know she will need my guidance to use, and I don't think that it's ever too early to start incorporating some sort of learning routine for your little toddler. Downstairs, the load was done, so I'm just putting the dark load to wash now and drying the clean clothes. For lunch, I will be making a recipe that was inspired from HelloFresh. We tried HelloFresh for a week and I really liked this recipe. It's not exactly the recipe to the T, but it's very similar, and I actually think the way I made it came out even better. It's a breaded breast chicken with a side of garlic, lemon, tomatoes, and buttered pasta. I'm making the mixture for the breading now, and I use freshly grated Parmesan, which I think is the key to making it taste its best. I put some breadcrumbs, salt and pepper, garlic powder, paprika, and lemon pepper spices, and then I'm just mixing it all together. Next, I'm going to put some mayo and Dijon mustard to rub the chicken, and then we're going to pop this into the oven for 15 minutes. After it is cooked for 15 minutes, we are going to again cover it with mayo and Dijon mustard so that the breading sticks, and we're going to place the breading all around it, and we're going to pop this into the oven for another 15 minutes. For the pasta, you just make the pasta as written on the box. And then you just slice these little tomatoes in half, put salt, pepper, and some garlic powder on them, and pop those in the oven for about 7 to 10 minutes. After the pasta is ready, you just throw a little piece of butter into the pasta. We're going to use 2 garlic cloves and a full lemon squeezed freshly, and then obviously we're going to top the tomatoes right in there and mix everything really well. along with all of the tomato juice. This is such an easy meal to make, and it's also really good for those picky eaters. Lunch was very good and very satisfying, and after lunch I'm just going to wipe this filthy coffee glass table just so that I can start folding all of the washed clean clothes, because at this time the laundry was all done. So I'm just cleaning this table and bringing all of the clean clothes here to fold and put away into their proper places. As you know, folding clothes is one of my least favorite house chores just because it takes so long and so much time and it requires a lot of patience. But I always try to look at the positive side of things and think about how back in the day, you know, people used to have to hand wash their clothes, and now at least we have the washers, we have the dryers to do all of those jobs for us, and we just have to fold and put away the clothes. So I'm always trying to look at the positive, always trying to be thankful and not take those things for granted. Slowly but surely, Lily's toys have started to take over our entire house. As you can see in the background, our room is starting to be taken over by her toys, and I'm just trying to tidy up this room right now. So I am going to put away all of the toys, even though I know it'll probably be on the floor again within an hour or so, but I will just clear this out so I can give this room a really good vacuum. While I was putting away the toys, I just wanted to stop and appreciate some of my 2-year-old's work before breaking it all up and putting it away. We did create the tall block building together, but these shapes on the floor was all her. I can definitely see how she has improved in her building skills as she gets older. So lately I've been making my bed very simple without all of the decorative pillows and all of that extra. And I think it's the best way to go because you save time and it still looks neat for the day. And a bed is not a decorative piece, it is to be used. So that's how I've been making my bed, just very simple, and I feel like that just works best for me. So once the room was nice and tidied up, the next thing I wanted to do on my list was to paint this flower pot that has been losing its color. So I just wanted to give it a fresh coat of white paint. I'm using this white paint that I had left over from some of my other DIY projects. Initially I wanted to spray paint this pot, because I do feel like it gives a much smoother texture. But with the cold weather outside, I felt like brushing it was just the way to go because I can do it indoors and it won't leave the aerosol smell for so long. And I did have to do 2 coats just because the pot was so dark, and I had to make sure to give it enough time for it to completely dry before putting the next coat of paint. And it did get a little bit messy. My hands were all a mess, but at the end I thought that it was definitely worth it, and the pot looked so much better and I didn't have to spend a single penny on it. So this is a really nice way to just freshen up your pot without spending any money. If you have some spray paint or some leftover paint from other projects, it's a nice way to kind of give your pots life again without spending any money. And as a plant person, you will know that pots do get pricey. So this is how it came out in the end. This is the final result. I do really like how it looks just nice and fresh and kind of just goes more with my furniture.